Assalamu alaikum. What if I told you that your brain is like a garden and cramming for exams is like drowning your plants? Just as a garden needs proper care, your brain needs the right nurturing to flourish. In the next few minutes, you will discover the secret to growing a thriving mind that retains knowledge effortlessly. We will uncover why cramming is like a flash flood. It might seem effective at first, but it leaves devastation in its wake. You will learn why spacing out your learning is the key to unlocking your brain's full potential. By the end of this video, you will have one of the most important tools to become the master gardener of your own mind. Are you ready to learn smarter, not harder? Your brain will thank you. Let's dive in and start growing. If you are new here, I'm Omar Muhammad. I'm on a journey from employee to business owner, building my first AI automation agency. On this channel, I share my experiences, both successes and failures, to help you avoid common pitfalls. On this and the upcoming videos, I'm sharing a practical summary of the Learning How to Learn course provided by Coursera, a summary that focuses on practical tips you can use in your daily life. If you are serious about mastering the art of learning, Omar got you covered. You'll find a comprehensive document with all points covered in the video description, neatly laid out for easy revision. And if Arabic is the preferred language, you are in good hands. Sana got you covered. She translated the entire document for you. Here's what will be covered in this video. How does the brain acquire knowledge? How to acquire knowledge properly. How does the brain acquire knowledge? Acquiring knowledge means being able to retrieve what you learned when needed. Retrieving happens when information is moved from short-term memory to long-term memory because we originally retrieve it from long-term memory. Similar to how consistent effort is needed to build muscular structure, allowing your muscles to grow gradually. Building neural structure follows the same principle. By doing a little work every day, you are gradually creating a neural scaffold to support your thinking. This process requires patience and commitment, but it is the key to effective learning and memory retention. Remember this, practicing what you are learning is crucial. It's not just about memorizing facts, but about actively engaging with the material to enhance and strengthen the neural connections you're forming during the learning process. This active involvement is what makes learning effective and memorable, putting you in the driver's seat of your learning journey. Learning a little every day is the key. Cramming might seem a quick fix, but it often leads to a jumbled and confused knowledge base, which can create a poor foundation for further learning. By avoiding cramming, you can feel a sense of relief and reassurance that you are building a solid understanding of the material, one step at a time. We naturally organize information into chunks, which makes our working memory feel larger than it actually is. However, our working memory has limits and requires repetition to retain information. For instance, we might repeat a phone number multiple times before writing it down to keep it from fading away. Long-term memory has a large storage capacity. To ensure information can be easily recalled, it needs to be revisited multiple times. By revisiting information, you can control how you can easily access your knowledge. Without practice and repetition, information can get buried and become difficult to retrieve. Moving new information from working memory to long-term memory is a process that requires time and practice. Techniques like spaced repetition, which involves spreading repetitions over several days, are invaluable in this regard. Repeating information 20 times in one evening is less effective than practicing the same amount over several days. Spaced repetition allows synaptic connections to form and strengthen, leading to better retention. Long story short, practice makes perfect. Embrace spaced repetition and say no to last-minute cramming. How to acquire knowledge properly? Two major factors affect acquiring knowledge: cramming and spaced repetition. What is cramming? Cramming refers to the practice of trying to learn a large amount of information in a very short period, usually right before an exam or deadline. This technique is often characterized by intense, last-minute study sessions that can extend late into the night or even through the entire night. As an example, a student with a final exam in biology the next day who hasn't kept up with regular study sessions might decide to pull an all-nighter. This involves reading through their textbook and class notes in one marathon session, hoping to retain as much information as possible before the exam. The stress and anxiety that accompany this last-minute effort are often overwhelming, leading the student feeling exhausted and unprepared. As an analogy, imagine you have not eaten for several days and decide to eat an entire week's worth of meals in one setting. You might feel extremely full and uncomfortable, and your body won't be able to process and absorb all the nutrients effectively. Most of the food will be wasted because your digestive system can't can't handle that much intake at once. This is like cramming, where you try to absorb a large amount of information in a short time. Just as your body can't properly process an excessive amount of information at once, your brain can't effectively process and retain a large amount of information crammed into a brief period. Why cramming is ineffective? Limited retention. The brain doesn't have enough time to consolidate information into long-term memory, leading to poor retention. The information might be temporarily stored in short-term memory, but it is often quickly forgotten after the exam or deadline. High stress. Cramming often involves intense last-minute study sessions that can cause stress and fatigue, which can impair cognitive function. Surface-level learning. Cramming focuses on rote memorization, which is the process of learning through repetition without necessarily understanding the underlying concepts. This results in a shallow grasp of the material. What is spaced repetition? Spaced repetition, on the other hand, is a learning technique that brings relief and confidence. It involves reviewing material at increasing intervals over time to improve long-term retention. The principle behind this technique is that information is more easily recalled if it is studied and revisited periodically rather than crammed in a short period. As an analogy, think of spaced repetition as watering a plant. Just as a plant needs water at regular intervals to grow strong and healthy, your brain needs periodic information reviews to strengthen and retain knowledge. If you water a plant too much at once, just like cramming, it won't absorb the water effectively and may be even harmed. Similarly, if you study intensely in a short period, you might overwhelm your brain, leading to poor retention. Spaced repetition, on the other hand, provides the right amount of water, which is the information, at the right times, which are the interval, to ensure your knowledge grows steadily and robustly. Step-by-step guide to spaced repetition. Identify the material. Select the information you want to learn, such as vocabulary, historical dates, or scientific concepts. Create flashcards. Use physical flashcards or digital tools like Anki or Quizlet. Write a question or term on one side and the answer or explanation on the other. Initial review. Study the flashcards for the first time. Attempt to recall the answer before flipping the card to check it. Review schedule. Follow a review schedule that spaces out the intervals, like on day 1, review all the cards. Day 2, review the cards that were difficult on day 1. Day 4, review all cards again. Day 7, review cards that were difficult on day 4. Day 14, review all cards again. Day 30, review the cards that were difficult on day 14. Adjust intervals based on performance. Easy cards can be reviewed less frequently, while difficult ones should be reviewed more often. Regular updates. Continuously add new cards to your deck and integrate them into your review schedule. Update or remove cards as you master the material. Applicable everywhere. Spaced repetition is a technique that can be applied to all areas of knowledge. While the flashcards example is commonly used to explain the concept, it is essential to understand that it is just one of many ways to implement spaced repetition. The fundamental principle of spaced repetition is its role in facilitating the transition of information from short-term memory to long-term memory. This is achieved by revisiting information over a prolonged period of time, ensuring its retention and recall. Spaced repetition can be as simple as quickly revising what you studied yesterday and doing the same the day after tomorrow. Nothing needs to be fancy here, but avoid cramming at all costs. How much to do it? The amount of spaced repetition depends on how much mastery you want to hold against the subject at hand. You can follow these steps if you want to have a good grasp of what you are learning. Daily, spend about 20 to 30 minutes each day reviewing flashcards. Consistency. Reviewing a small amount daily is more effective than cramming for long periods. Adjust intervals. Use software like Anki, which automatically adjusts intervals based on your recall performance. Practical tips. Active recall. Always try to recall the answer before flipping the card or seeing the answer. Mix it up. Interleave different topics to enhance learning and retention. Stay consistent. Make spaced repetition a regular part of your study routine. All of you, I need your answers. Have you learned something new from this video? If yes, what is it? And how will you apply it in your daily life? Let me know in the comments. That's it for me now. Assalamu alaikum.